teaches us lessons that you have to do both at the same time. You have to have a firm, strong, effective approach in monitoring and enforcing, but you have to put most of your energy in changing the mindset of the people before they get into that process so that you reduce the investment you have to make at the back end.
All right, gotcha. We'll see if that works.
Can I add that? And if you notice, even the compensation review program, the conversation pension is high priority. It was a high priority of the program because how pension is calculated and what is calculated on is significant. And therefore the government has shifted how that is calculated by
conversation. This is happening here in Kingston. A number of our listeners saying, listen, Kingston is not Jamaica. Jacket, pink flag, whatever. You are pork neck shirt, and that's how it works in
No,
the
we
ministry.
just want to show the difference in generations. Doesn't matter how young or how old you are. No, I'm joking. No.
And I usually ask you a question about your political direction. How you never get the speaker job?
Me?
Yeah.
I didn't answer.
You didn't answer.
You know that. No.
You didn't want to follow in the footsteps.
The most competent person was asked to be speaker.
I hear you.
But my state minister will tell you that his minister doesn't like the jacket and tie.
Or the robe or the wig.
No. I leave that to my father. He will like not only the jacket, he like the robe.
It's more traditionally.
Exactly.
Bernard Charles Jr., Minister of Labour and Social Security, and State Minister Dr. Norman Dunn. Thanks for dropping by. We're watching, I get the answer and it's a nice fat answer, but we're watching the hard, We want, because some of us soon need it,
I must tell you, I always enjoy your conversations. You have riveting questions. And this is the kind of interrogation that we need. All right, keep us on our toes.
Thank you, sir. All right. Thanks to the Minister and State Minister. Thanks to you for listening. That's it for our program. Thanks for Dervan Malcolm for holding on for an extra few minutes before bringing you both sides of this story. That's our coverage of the National Council for Senior Citizens Aging Fair here at the Emancipation Park. We'll be back tomorrow with regular programming. Hold on, no paper. Thanks to Jesse Blake, our producer, Davin Thomas in studio, our broadcast engineer, Richard Nemad, our sales representative, Lorna Lewis, the great Celise Binock, who is outside for the first time in our life with power. And she have full lunch for herself, I must tell you. Dervan Malcolm, it's over to you.
The preceding broadcast from the National Council for Senior Citizens
Five minutes past 2:00.
Both sides of the story, linking Jamaicans in the diaspora with Jamaica. Both sides of the story.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Time now for Both Sides of the Story, the story of Jamaicans at home and Jamaicans abroad on Power 106 FM. We will not take sides, but we listen to your side. Stay with us as we explore the issues, present the facts, speak with the experts, and as always, listen to both sides. What's your story? Tell us on both sides of the story by calling our local numbers 876 922 4112 to 5. You can listen to both sides of the story on the Power 106 FM app via the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, as well as on onespotmedia.com. Plus, listeners in the USA can dial 631 359 8281 to listen. And if you're in the UK and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, you can call 0330 606 0953. You can watch both sides of the story live on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Both Sides 106. Email bothsides106 at live.com. Send your WhatsApp voice notes, audio messages, and text messages to 876 365 3346. Remember, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. So stay with us as we listen to both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Can you see that?
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session, hour 106.
An old man going alone highway came at the evening cold and grey to a chasm vast and deep and wide, through which was flowing a sullen tide. The old man crossed in the twilight dim. The sullen stream had no fear for him, but he turned when safe on the other side and built a bridge to span the tide. Old man, said a fellow pilgrim near, you are wasting your strength with building here. Your journey will end with the ending day. You never again will pass this way. You've crossed the chasm deep and wide. Why build this bridge at evening tide? The builder lifted his old gray head. Good friend, in the path I have come, he said, there followed after me today a youth whose feet must pass this way. This chasm that has been as naught to me, to that fair-haired youth may a pitfall be. He too must cross in the twilight dim. Good friend, I am building this bridge for him.
I'd gladly walk across the desert with no shoes upon my feet to share with you the last bite of bread I had to eat. I would swim out to save you in your sea of broken dreams. But all your hopes are sinking. Let me show you what love means. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? I would whisper love so loudly every heart could understand. The love that only love can join the tribes of man. I would give my heart's desire so that you might see. First step is to realize that it all begins with you and me. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? When we stand together, it's our finest hour. We can do anything, 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 anything. Keep believing in the power can be between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Yes, I do. Love can build a bridge. Oh, love and all love between your heart and mine. Between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Love and all love. Don't you think it's time?
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:15.
If you know I'm pop down and think, you feel run mosquito and run the dengue. So don't make water sickling wouldn't come.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. We are back. Tune in to Power 106 for Season 3 of Gen Z. Whether you need a dose of humor, advice, or inspiration, we have you covered. You get to hear from our amazing guests, join in on the chats, and learn with us along the way. That's Season 3 of Gen Z. Your favorite nighttime talk show, Dear Pastor, is now at a new time, 9 to 11 p.m. Monday to Thursday. Join Reverend Dr. Aaron Damas as he answers your questions and entertains conversations on a range of issues. Spice up your evening with Dear Pastor here on Power 106 FM, Monday to Thursday from 9 to 11 p.m. It's nighttime talk radio at its best at an earlier time. That's Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Damas, now at a new time, 9 to 11 p.m., right here on Power 106 FM.
Tune in every Thursday at 3:30 p.m. for Your Legal Corner with Bailey Walker Huntington during both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm on Power 106 FM. It's your source of information regarding U.S. immigration matters, combined with Power 106 FM's pioneer of diaspora broadcasting. Call in with your U.S. immigration queries and concerns on 876-922-41125 or send a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598 and get the answers you need for your U.S. immigration questions. That's Your Legal Corner with Bailey Walker Huntington, Thursdays at 3:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm, only on Power 106 FM.
The Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Don't you think it's time?
It is time. Make that Thursday, the 5th of October, 2023. And we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome. Starting our interview segment a little earlier than scheduled, which is great. We get an opportunity to feature a new development. There was a launch today led by the Sandals Corporate University, the official launch of the Eon XR platform. That might sound like Greek to you. Don't worry, we'll help you to have an appreciation for what this is all about. And in fact, to help us along the way, we're going to invite Mats Johansson, co-founder and president of Eon Reality. Hello, Mats Johansson. How are you?
I am good, thank you. How are you?
I am fine, thanks. Thank you very much for joining us. Pleasure is all ours. And thanks as well to the e-learning and learning technology manager, Andre Campbell. Welcome, Andre Campbell.
Thank you for having me. My pleasure.
Wonderful. Great. So let's start at the beginning. For those who just heard the name Eon Reality for the very first time and not sure what they should make of it, can you explain the purpose of Eon Reality?
Absolutely. So we are a education learning technology company that's been around for 25 years. And our focus is on bringing extended reality, also called virtual and augmented reality, to the masses for education. And to do this, we have a cloud-based software platform where teachers, students, trainers, etc., can, without being coders, create these XR experiences, as we like to call, and then use them for learning. It could be any subject area really today. And we've been working with both higher education and K-12 markets historically. And we're very excited about this partnership with Sandals Corporate University.
Yes. Hold it right there, Mats Johansson. Let's bring Andre Campbell into the discussion. What is your function in all of this? Yes, we know your title. You're e-learning and learning technology manager, but is that also a part of Eon Reality or another entity?
So my role in all of this equation, I work with the Standards Corporate University, which is the training arm of Standards Resort International,
Yes,
where we help to get our team members to be the best hospitality ambassadors in their different roles. So the partnership with Eon is going to literally take training for the SUU to a new dimension, where we allow team members to be more immersed and a little bit more connected to the content that we will share with them to get them to the ultimate team member for the Sandals Resort International.
And Mats Johansson, can you give us an idea of how this relationship come about and give us a sense of the expectations going forward?
Absolutely. So the head of Sandals Corporate University, Dr. Luz Longsworth, we worked with her on a project in the Caribbean with the University of West Indies, going back 3 years, with the deployment throughout that university. So when she came to Sandals about 10 months ago, she reached out, and we're excited to launch this program that is supported both by Sandals Corporate University, but also from Eon Reality and Eon Reality Learn for Life in terms of funding it. And the program, once it's fully up and running, should be able to reach up to 5,000 students at a time. So it's a large, exciting deployment in hospitality. And we're also training the SCU, or Sandals Corporate University, teachers and instructors, so they're up to speed on the technology, and actually showed some wonderful applications today that they had developed only 2 months into the project. So very exciting.
And is this familiar learning material being dispensed in a new way? Is that it?
Yeah, so it's basically using simulation and virtual reality to get more engagement and better skills transfer compared to other online solutions like Zoom that can be pretty dull for students after a while. So there's a lot of studies out there that show that you can increase skills transfer, engagement, focus, etc. And we've seen this in a lot of subject matter areas as well. So it's really, taking a lot of existing material, adding a little bit of 3D to it, and presenting a much more engaging, better kind of training environment.
Yes. And Andre Campbell, you wanted to respond as well to the same question?
Yes, I just wanted to add to Matt's point that think of it from this perspective. You may have a team member who needs to do training on, let's say, how to make steak. They may be able to read the theory, but using the Eon platform and leveraging the tool will actually put them in the environment, that kitchen area, and basically allow them to use the technology to actually create that steak virtually and assess them on how well they did during that process.
It sounds like fun already.
It is fun.
So, so uh, have you pretty much started rolling out your programs already?
So yes, we've actually trained 60 XR coaches to date, and we're currently training 40 more persons who will be the drivers of this new initiative for the company to allow us to create more immersive content for 18,000 plus team members. We'll not only support the resorts, but also the affiliate companies under the Sandals umbrella.
How unique is this arrangement and the technology that you're employing, Mats?
Yeah, so I would say as a technology, we've deployed this in the education space in many locations, especially in the higher education. I think what makes this unique is that it's one of the first endeavors into a corporate university, and also one of the larger deployments, if not the largest, into the hospitality space. So it really is quite a trailblazing program that Sandals has engaged with here. And I'm sure it's going to benefit their employees and bring them more skills and prepare new employees for the jobs coming up.
And is it a case, Andre Campbell, that there is an agreement that says you do this with us, with our brand, or is there scope for others, perhaps within this country or this region, to benefit from this initiative?
So through the partnership, we are able to engage with some of our other strategic arms, those public, I would say, and we are in discussions with some of those other entities to ensure that they can benefit from the partnership we have with Beyond Reality. Yeah.
I see. All right. So for those who'd like to learn more, who perhaps are excited and have an interest, who should come knocking on your door as far as Eon Reality is concerned?
Yeah, so we work, as I mentioned, extensively with education. So schools, universities, technical colleges, that's our largest install base around the world. And actually, in conjunction with the event, we've had some good discussions with some local universities as well. And the other one I would say is tourism as a whole is a rapidly growing emerging market. And we had the pleasure of having the Minister of Tourism from Jamaica to join us at the launch, and looking what he presented and said, there's a lot of opportunity in tourism overall as well. So that's something we would welcome as well. But the program itself is open for anyone to try out. And there's an app called Eon XR on Google or Apple. You can download that and explore on your own, and that's open for everyone.
Oh, let's make a mental note of that. Eon XR.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So listeners, if you want to learn more about Eon Reality, you can download the app Eon XR. And how much are they likely to get, though? Is it maybe just an introductory bit? Or yes,
introductory 30-day trial you can try out.
One moment, please, gentlemen. We need to take a break and come back.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30.
Rise and shine. Rise and shine. Oh.
Get ready for stories to motivate and inspire. Come Sunday, October 8th at 4 p.m. Power 106 FM is delighted to bring you the program Rise and Shine with Phyllis, to be hosted by author and ordained minister of New Thought Christianity, Reverend Dr. Phyllis Green. Hear the tales of powerful Jamaicans at home and abroad from all walks of life who've risen above the odds to achieve great feats and to shine their light for the world to see. Get ready to be stimulated by inspiring conversations, meditations, and music. Get ready to rise and shine with Phyllis, with Reverend Dr. Phyllis Green. Sundays from 4 to 5 p.m. starting Sunday, October 8, live on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
I would swim.
Indeed, love can build a bridge, and with that love for people and the service that is pursued, a lot more bridges can be built. And so the technology is causing the initiation of a lot of connections in more ways than one. So we've been learning about Eon reality, pioneering immersive experiences in VR, AR, and XR. And for those who are following the technological revolution, you would be familiar with some of those terms. And we know that Sandals Resorts International is a forward-thinking institution, and that is also obviously reflected in the Sandals Corporate University. And they had the official launch starting this morning about 11 o'clock or so, wrapping up by about 1:30. And we've been sharing with you, our faithful listeners at home and abroad, a little more information on Eon Reality and the work of Sandals Corporate University, the partnership there. And we're definitely looking forward to more. And I mean, what is the scope like? Perhaps if that's not too much to ask, Mats Johansson, what's the scope for growth and development like in this area?
Yeah, if you look from a global perspective, there are many studies out there that look specifically at XR, so virtual and augmented reality technologies, and there is expected growth year over year in terms of revenue generation, a little bit north of 20% over the next 5 years per year. And the other part that's kind of connected with this is that we also use spatial AI, spatial artificial intelligence, where we can take existing course material, and basically feed it to the AI and very quickly generate courses. And we know that the growth in AI is even larger than that. But I think also from our own company's point of view, if we went back as little as 5 years, a large deployment would maybe count in the hundreds of students. Today we have deployments with up to 50,000 students. So
what? Hold on, back up a bit, please.
Yeah.
Come again. You said 50,000 students?
Yeah, 50,000 students. We do some nationwide initiatives, and that's one of those. Actually, in South Africa, with a large Tibet organization, they have hundreds of schools and training institutions kind of attached to them. So that's a very large one. But we also have many similar to Sandals Corporate University with 5,000 students and growing. So we've seen the adoption rate in number of users, number of students grow quite exponentially. And a lot of it is that you have access to much more content as it's much easier to produce, and you can use AI to generate better education content.
And clearly, it has implications for building capacity as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we want to congratulate you, Mats Johansson, and your team at Eon Reality, and also, of course, Andre Campbell, e-learning and learning technology manager at Sandals Corporate University. We want to wish you all the very best, and we look forward to continuing the dialogue with on both sides, literally and figuratively, because we want to be a part of the experience. We want to be able to share and bring more of our people into the loop as well. So feel free to hit us up every now and then or whenever the need arises, so we can get the word out there.
Wonderful. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you both. All the best.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good. Take care. Listening there to Andre Campbell, e-learning and learning technology manager at Sandals Corporate University. You also heard from Mats Johansson, co-founder and president of Eon Reality. And for those who want to log on right now, so to speak, you can Google Eon XR, Eon, E-O-N, E-O-N XR, and you should get some material there that will no doubt pique your interest even further. So we're continuing now with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. Good afternoon, Miss Del Mignot. She has quite a lot to say. She says, good evening, Mr. Dervan. Good afternoon, Del Mignot. Different things react differently on different people. I did not know that a sweet laced with cannabis could have such a devastating effect on a child. Can you then imagine the effect it must have on a teenager who smokes ganja? In my opinion, some of these fights and murders in school could be as a result of ganja smoking. Just imagine a teenager inhaling the smoke from that plant. It may make him feel very brave to do the things he would not do if he or she was not under the influence of this substance. Mr. Dervan, I am sure that the young people smoke this plant so much that it is baked into their skin. I deal with them every day, and so I encourage them to stop it. When whichever government legalized ganja, whatever the amount, it was the worst idea. Thanks for always reading my comments. Del Mignot. Thank you, Miss Del, for your message. I did see a young man on the street this morning, sitting on the grass at a certain place, and he had a big joint, let's say, smoking, just this morning, actually. Now, we're not making any pronouncements beyond that, but it has implications. It has implications. Let's go to the phone lines once again, 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Michael. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon, Michael. I'm fine. Thanks. I hope you heard you heard Norman Grant speaking with Ralston, Hyman and company today.
No, you know, so you don't have the feeling, man. You don't have to feel that breaks, me that I could break and you can not go back in it, you know?
I see. Well, sorry you missed it.
Yeah, man. But something positive come out of it, though.
Yeah, more positive talk.
Yeah, because it's a man Grant, you know. He come like him, how him working at the castle, they don't even know what to say, so how him work as a youth man, till him turn man come up in and a scene fight, the bigger man fight.
Well, he's not. Go ahead.
When my youth man, you know, in control the PC bank, you know, not really the general manager, but in big night, in work hard about the place in a one name, Mr. Small and Mr. Michael Reed and some more man, you know, the manager named Mr. Guy Morrison. Wow, and next man named Miller, Paul Miller. The amount of work them put up, the amount of coffee them a sell right now, them should have them now man sends 300,000 backwards, but you know, should have 3 million, 5 million bucks, man. The man then kill out the coffee. And the next quick
well,
why would
control
the slam stick farm road? They can't stay so cause crop season and the road can't stay so. Even to even some little small buyers up your ass and little factory, nothing can go there because the road is extra bad, please, sir. And have a good evening, Mr. Malcolm, because I don't know so many rate you also Garfield show was Usain Bolt. Cassius Clay, I tell you. Have a good evening, sir.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Inez Ayona Campbell says, good afternoon, everyone. Blessings always to you too, Inez Ayona Campbell. Grace Shim says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Greetings from sunny and smoky Sarasota. Oil price slump and mortgage rates rise. Financial markets are in turmoil. Buy gold or hide the money in a mattress? Question. Hard to decide. Walk good. Thank you very much for your perspective, Grace Shim. Velta Wilson says, happy, thankful Thursday to you, Mr. Malcolm, and listeners across the world. Same to you, Velta Wilson. Tevin Johnson says, the Judds, beautiful song. Indeed, love can build a bridge. Happy you enjoyed that particular recording. Let's clear some more messages. Franklin McDonald in Guelph, Canada, has shared with us a link to the National Environment and Protection Agency, NEPA. And let's see what's the subject this time. Mr. McDonald is always on point with some development one way or another. And well, this is a lot of reading material here, and looks like it has to do with the Town and Country Planning Act. And let's take the break and come back.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45.
Farmers, come for a candid conversation with the Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, the Honorable Floyd Green. Learn more about the agricultural sector and the role we all play in its development. That's A Morning with the Minister, every second and fourth Friday of every month during Farm Talk with Alfie McKenzie on Power 106 FM.
Can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time?
Perhaps Mr. McDonald will explain when he gets the opportunity the reason for sharing this long list of development plans and provisional development orders. So I think you're trying to tell us something there, Mr. McDonald. We'll be happy to receive the information. Thank you very much. In the meantime, let's clear some of the other messages. This one, Arlene Clark says, "Good day, Dervan. Thanks for the usual effort to get things done. I see work started on the Sir Florizel Glaspole Boulevard." Yes, I saw that, to rectify the sewerage issue at the Harborview roundabout. Well, it's about time. My goodness, it was really bad. And the work is still being done, the pipes still being laid, etc. So we hope we never see another one of those. We hope. And this one says, "Good afternoon, Dervan. I'm a concerned citizen of Property Road, Salisbury Plain in St. Andrew. For about 1 year, we have not been getting any water on the road where the Bethlehem Reformed Church is. The McGowan pumping station serves the area. We reached out to Mr. Waugh, who is the supervisor, but he has done nothing to correct the situation." We're sorry to hear about that. Just trying to see Bethlehem Reformed Church, the McGowan pumping station serves the area. Who is Mr. Waugh? Perhaps you could give us a bit more information on that. And with which organization is he associated? So we can see if we can hold him accountable, or at least to find out from him what the situation is. Joan in Bermuda is doing her usual weather work, sharing useful information, life-saving information even. And the latest she's sharing with us is on Tropical Storm Philippe. Philippe has been out and about for a little while now. So Tropical Storm Philippe, at the latest update, a tropical storm warning remains in effect, and this is from Bermuda. Thank you very much, Joan Richardson in Bermuda, for keeping us posted. A tropical storm warning remains in effect. The closest point of approach during the next 72 hours is expected to be 82 nautical miles to the west of Bermuda at 2 p.m. tomorrow, Friday, the 6th of October. The public should be aware of the following, and this is the public in Bermuda. Those in Bermuda listening to us, the public should be aware of the following. Schools, Bermuda public schools will be closed tomorrow, Friday, the 6th of October, out of an abundance of caution, and will reopen on Monday, the 9th of October. The causeway in Bermuda will remain open and will be closely monitored. Government services, well, as far as government services are concerned, government offices in Bermuda will open tomorrow, Friday, as per normal they have here. And the emergency shelter at Cedar Bridge Academy will be open to any resident who needs it from 9 p.m. on Thursday, the 5th of October. With respect to airport operations, the L.F. Wade International Airport will be open on Friday. Travelers are urged to contact their respective airlines to learn of any flight cancellations. Public transportation. Bus services will run normally on Friday. Ferries on Friday will be suspended, with the exception of the Pink Route, which will operate normally. The Disney cruise ship will depart today as expected at 5 p.m. Trash collection. Friday's garbage collection will be deferred until Saturday for collection. Residents, you get an idea of the difference from country to country, how they operate. Public transportation update, airport operations update, trash collection update, just going through. After all, their duty is to play their part in managing the affairs of the country, managing the affairs. So trash collection, Friday's garbage collection will be deferred until Saturday for collection. Residents should refrain from putting out garbage Friday night. We strongly urge against non-essential travel on our roads on Friday. So if you're not an essential worker or engaged in essential matters, then you should stay off the road. Please exercise care and caution on the roads. If you don't have to be on the roads on Friday, then please remain indoors. The public can expect to see unsettled weather conditions later today, and Philippe will bring high seas, long periods of swells, and hazardous surf, including rip currents. People are strongly advised not to enter the water during this time. Lifeguards have suspended operations at Horseshoe Bay Beach. I remember that beach. Please forward this message to those who may need the information. And there's a link, wa.me/, and there's a number as well, 1441-504-6045. And you can start a chat, text the word hi, and follow the instructions to receive the Government of Bermuda's information, news, and updates. And they seem to be receiving the information. We do have some in our population who will just turn up the nose at it and curse anybody who is trying to share useful information, because they would perhaps say they don't want to get involved in any politics, they don't want anything from any politician, etc. Different cultures, different people, so it is. Here's another message. This one says, hi, Dervan. Good afternoon. I saw some very interesting information about Marcus Garvey being published in the Gleaner. Very interesting indeed. The information is so informative, and it's good they are putting these things out to the public so they can be educated about our national heroes who did so much for the beautiful island. Thank you, H. Morgan in Birmingham, for your message. Here's another. Good day, Dervan. The brain is not fully developed until about age 25. You are correct, for the most part, yes. It's sad to see these young men digging out their hand middle to blow whatever brain cells some of them have left. It's a pity. It's a pity, says the person who sent us this message. It is indeed a pity. What a waste. What a waste. What a waste. Continuing with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaner's website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. Randy replied to our story here saying, hey, Dervan, alcohol, hold on, where did it go? Hey, Dervan, alcohol makes its users more angry than weed. Weed smokers don't generally go home and beat their wives. Are you serious, Randy? What a position to take. And here's another bit. Let's see what we have here. Beachy Stout trial witness cries in court, claims coked up businessman persuaded him to kill wife. Oh dear. Another sad piece here, school principal targeted in gun attack. Oh boy. It's a lot to process. A lot to process. Let's continue. 876-922-4112-5 are the numbers to call. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. 876-365-3346. Natalie Winter says, good afternoon, all. Good afternoon, Natalie Winter. Anne Ramsey is also in touch with us. Good afternoon to you, Anne Ramsey. Thank you very much for tuning in to both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. And let's see. There are all kinds of stories popping up that are quite useful one way or another. The Securities and Exchange Commission sued, this is Bloomberg Business Week, the Securities and Exchange Commission sued Elon Musk to force him to testify in the agency's probe into his purchase of Twitter in 2022. So questions still surround that sale or that purchase. And there is a story on New York City subway gunman Frank James getting life in prison for the 2022 attack. An update on the Prigozhin crash. Putin says fragments. These stories pop up and then disappear when they're ready. There's one about the Prigozhin crash. Putin says fragments of hand grenades were discovered in victims' remains after a plane carrying the Wagner chief crashed in August. And the drones are being used a lot these days to take out people. Al Jazeera reporting at least 80 killed in a drone attack on a military college in Syria. A drone attack in a military college in Syria, in the worst attack on government-held territory in years. And there are other stories popping up as well, which we'll continue to share as we go along. So the other story, "48 people killed in Russian strike which hit a shop in eastern Ukraine." And that's the word from President Zelensky. When will all of this cease? One moment, please.
Contractors, developers, and small builders. Contact Coast to Coast Group of Companies for high-quality concrete products. The time by Coast to Coast Group of Companies is
3 o'clock.
Parents, improve your child's performance with the Children's Zone, a treasure chest of learning and fun, all in one place. Captivating stories, mind-bending puzzles, amazing discoveries in every subject area, and developmental activities. Each issue of the Children's Zone is the door to endless learning and fun.
Yes, I do. Love and all love. We know heart and mind. Between your heart and mind. Love and all love. Don't you think it's time? Oh, don't you think it's time?
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well, 876-365-3346. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Tell me. I want to ask you a few questions. One minute. When the Bible talk about a millstone, do you know how the weight of a millstone?
The weight of a millstone? No.
Okay. One, the Bible said in the New Testament, if you hurt one of these little children, if a millstone was tied to your leg and you cast into the sea, what that mean?
All right, I just did a search, and I just did a search with respect to the weight of a millstone.
Yes.
And I'm seeing here, according to two sources, 1,500 kilograms or 3,300 pounds.
Good. So, all these words supposed to have been spoken by Jesus. So, all them guys who hurting them and your captain things and do all these things. I want to bury it all of them. When it's them and read what things, nothing came. You know, if you look at the list of what's got there on your feet and say, what, you know what I mean?
Say that again, please.
Strong. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but suppose now, you're not going to leave them. Suppose we have this addition to it. And when people do these things today, what he wanted and the urge he has when to do these things. Why in our urge in the land, let him listen, why couldn't do that person come ready? That's whatever organ he has to have that urge, that organ or whatever. He would never do that again in life. That organ that went up can't go. It is still wrong. What do you say about that?
Well, in international law and related matters, there are certain decisions that are seen as as inhumane.
Mhm.
So you will always have those who have a problem with what they regard as an inhumane act,
Yeah.
even as you have those who are go
And
ahead.
I am going further. That is a part of the New Testament.
Hmm.
I'm going to say something. It's part of the Old Testament. If we think that some places in, I don't know if it's Hosea chapter 4 or whatever, I remember. I just talk about people of Israel and I said, Israel is like a backsliding, and it's going to lead them up to the reprobate mind. And the same thing coming in the New Testament. So then, talking about the people who they become reprobate, unredeemable.
Or did you mean irredeemable?
They're going to steal out of my mouth or something. You know, but this rather, on the Old Testament, and on the New Testament. What do people read those things?
What do people want?
Read those part of scripture, I want to read it. I come nothing to them if they read it. Nothing at all.
Yeah, well, it's there for all to see, and some will receive it, and others won't. Some will get it, and others don't.
As a matter of fact, one scholar would say, oh, Jerusalem, how off would I like to gather you under my feathers, and he would not. And say, you know, why is coming here?
I'm sorry, your reception is not as refined as it could be, though. A lot of what you're saying is a bit muffled, and there's a bit of noise in the background as well. Would really love to hear what you're saying, but there's some overmodulation taking place. Overmodulation, and I don't think you're listening either, or you're hearing, because you're still talking. Still talking. Hello? 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 All right, let's move on. Sorry about that. We're going to have to end that call because you seem to be in a space of your own. So let's continue. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. Let's go to Florida for our next call. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Quick question for you. You have any idea if the present commissioner of police was a politician?
A politician? Absolutely not.
Yeah, but why I'm selling some story when we check it out is a different thing from what he's telling us.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, you go like this. He was on the news about 2 or 3 days ago telling us that some major crimes such as murder is down, but he is still an exploration of a quadruple murder and then an exploration of a triple murder. Why is it so?
Well, is the reaction likely to be the same if the numbers are going up? In other words...
Yeah, but why don't wait until when the year is finished, they make them assessment and then they issue them statement?
While people are dying? Wait on what?
No, if you say it is going down for the year, you just wait till the year done and tell us, so last year we have less or whatever. But during the year, you tell us and it's still going on and there's no end in sight.
They have to keep keep abreast of the numbers and to get a picture of what is happening or not happening, and what other strategies might need to be employed, etc. They're using the same system that they have been using for some time in terms of the numbers. And over time, these numbers go up and they come down, and so on and so forth. So
to keep it down, what strategy have in place?
Well, he would have to outline that strategy that is in place, and but he can show you. But he can show you the strategy. I mean, he has been talking about strategy ever since he was advisor, Jamaica's first national security advisor. He has been sharing information and ideas and discussing strategies that can be discussed openly, etc. But it's not going to happen that at overnight the numbers are going to drop dramatically, and there will be low or no murders and other forms of criminality.
Hold on. You say low or no?
Low or no.
How do you know come in? I don't get the part because me hear them thing up on news daily. I wonder when will they don't come into being.
Well, stranger things have happened.
Yeah, but I don't think they have nothing in place to get these guys under control.
Well, according to them, they've been employing their strategies, and the rate is down, or the rates are down in the different categories.
So if it's down in Kingston, I hope it's in catching. Will I tell you?
That's a function of the beast that we're having to deal with. That's a function of the beast that we're having to deal with.
So we're going in the beast.
We have to employ all appropriate strategies, and that's just the beginning, because it is not going to, the rate is not going to drop necessarily because of a new strategy. Because while that new strategy is being implemented, someone has made the conscious decision to take somebody out. And I don't mean for dinner. So when you're, and this is why we keep going back to that fundamental point, that man must be protected from himself. Left to himself, man is perhaps the most destructive creature on the face of the planet. And so the term man there is used, I normally put in the disclaimer. When we use the term man, we mean women as well. We're using it in a way to represent all mankind.
Okay. You see, when I strategy, I see them use here to send a clear message. Many times I hear on the news where pillion rider, like bad ride bike, ride up on the pillion rider open fire. Now, when I think I see them use here, the man who do the riding, them call him the getaway man. Them slap him heavy than the man who do the crime. So nobody want to be the getaway driver. All right.
And therefore?
So if them put some of those strategies in place, I think that message will send.
What's that strategy? Tell us about that strategy again.
All right. So me ride the bike and you do the shooting. The rider went up with 100 years and the shooter went up with 25 years. So everybody's scared to be the rider, the getaway rider.
One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:16 on Power 106.
Power 106 FM, the digital sound, now reaching you in more ways. Listen to us on 106.1 to 106.9 on the FM band. You can also listen to us on the Power 106 FM app, which you can download on the Google Play Store or the App Store. Plus, listen to us on onespotmedia.com and the One Spot Media app, or log on to go-jamaica.com. Power 106 FM, where all views can contend, giving you powerful talk radio in so many ways, on air and online.
Love can build a bridge.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. We have to face some realities in this country. The so-called badness didn't start last night or yesterday or 20 or 30 or 40 years ago. It's been a while. It's been a while, and it's going to take a lot. I will come back to that. Yes, sir. Back with you.
You don't take much time, Mr. Malcolm, but you just
Really?
have to send the message loud and clear.
What's that message? What's that strategic message that you would send loud and clear?
During a shooting incident, I mean, then we hear car pull up and open fire on people. The driver, if you give him 120 here, like us them do it here, and the shooter get 120 here, who want to be the driver? So therefore, we have less of that incident.
What is the guarantee that people will shun the idea of being the driver? What guarantee do you
Just
have?
think
There?
about one. No, sorry. You just think about what to get when them hold you, make it think twice. You understand?
Yeah, but again, there are no guarantees you will, in terms of, as you say, hold them. There are no guarantees there. They're going to do what they need to do.
One thing again, sir. Say me shoot you, and they have me a try catch me, and then our next man shoot our next man. Them drop my case and gone. That's not how they should do it. Have me on the list when no matter how long it take, when you pick me up, then you move to the next man, no matter how long you pick him up to. But you can't all over the place I try catch everybody one time. It's not going to work.
I hear you.
Yeah, man. So they need to get them thing together. And you don't have much to get them off the street, but you have to be serious with them.
Well, why don't you apply for the job? I mean, you seem to have no. I'm serious. You seem to have answers in your mind that you have answers. So why not?
No, not in my
why
mind.
not?
So I see them operate here.
Why not apply? And let us have that difference. You are a Jamaican, and you have ideas in helping to solve Jamaica's crime problems. Apply, or send a letter to the Minister of National Security, and share the ways in which you think that this monster can be tamed.
Okay. How soon could I send something to you?
That choice is yours. It's your time.
And guarantee I get a job?
There are no guarantees in this life.
Okay, so let's time it up. You know, a detective from Miramar Police said one time, and I never forget it. He said, if a man commit a crime and him walk free, he may do it again. But if him pay the price, him think twice and he may never do it again.
Not in all cases. Not in all cases. You see, this is the thing. We're thinking of it as being linear, as in going in a straight line. Life doesn't go in a straight line. Things don't happen in a straight line. there are curves and corners, and you get the picture.
Yeah, but once I'm alive, I track him down. Wherever he is, I make him pay the price.
How? Pay the price, how?
Now, once him come with that crime, I know him there, you track him down, man. And when you find him, pay whatever price you have for him. If him should come back on the street, him think twice.
Well,
but if you want free, they don't like it, we go and do it again.
yeah, I mean, if you do something and you get away with it, it's going to encourage some level of continuation.
So hopefully next year we see. Well, the way things are already not going down to a level where we can accept it, but hopefully next year we can say, all right, the system will work and not drive fear in the criminal.
Hope is a good thing, but it's going to take more than hope.
So what are you going to take?
Work.
Yeah, but the man do the work and I'm be serious with the work.
Yes, but there's a tendency to panic, and it's understandable once there is what appears to be an increase or an uptick in shootings, for example. And people say, Lord, see, then now the country mash up and it's every day murder. But they're unfortunately not also considering or wondering about the other situation where the police and soldiers, etc., the national security apparatus, that they are constantly out there in the field, constantly working. They might not be bringing home the kind of bacon that you want them to at the rate that you want them to, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're not, in their own way, bringing home the bacon.
Yeah, but when something happened in here that because violence are flamed now in here and them have curfew or SO, yeah, what them call it. You don't go and walk up and down on the street. You must get the name of certain guys. And you left no stone unturned unless they're not in there. But once them is there, you make sure somebody go sleep in jail for what they do.
Yeah, well,
you don't pick me up to your question, me ask me question. Know the individual we are going after. Make sure say at the end of the curfew or whatever, you reap some success there.
Well, ideally, that's what we want to happen. Those who need to be caught, that they are caught. That's yes, that's what we'd like to happen. It doesn't always happen. There are days when they go out and they get their man, as they would say, or finally catch up with a particular individual, and that individual is brought to justice. So we do what we can, while we can, however we can, to ensure that there is an understanding out there. There's a narrative out there that is saying, hey, look out, the police are onto you or whomever, wherever.
A former superintendent who lives in Spanish Town, he used to tell us on the news, and him right, when you going after these guys, you try to catch up with them like 4 o'clock in the morning. That's when they want to sleep, because sleep sweet. But if you go in the day, they might look out for you.
That's your theory.
No, that's SSP Adam's theory. 4 o'clock in the morning, best time to look for them.
And what impact did that theory have on crime in Jamaica?
Well, I guess nowadays,
no, you're not answering the question. You're not answering the question.
Well, he reaped some success of him time.
And
so ask them to apply the same strategy.
And no success has been reaped in this time.
Little, but no as we want it.
Okay, fair enough. Or you're one of those people who speak and then ask how them sound?
Well, I mean, if what I'm saying so and saying something, you would make a search and say, yeah, man. So, like, what I said could work.
I hear you. Yeah, we can, for the most part, this is what we can do. We can talk. I mean, we can act too if we are keen on going a step further, because most of us, we really just talk. That's the situation. Most of us can only talk.
Yeah, but the argument run things, though, so you have to say something and then I can say.
No, now you're being a comedian.
No, but we can't silence them. I say something. My boss tell one Jamaican guy one time said, every day him come up your argument and come with him one argument in place and the guy ask himself him go imply some dumb people because people can't do it at all.
You need to stop going to that. You need to stop going to that bar. Give the bar a break because it's not working out.
I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but seriously, the thing is, every country has a culture, and the nature of that culture will have implications. Well, it has implications and will continue to have implications for generations to come. Over time, things are going to happen for better or for worse. Those who are elected on the basis that they have the skills, they have the competence, they have the know-how to managerially impact the society, to managerially impact the society. But having said that, we cannot escape man's tendencies. We have no way of knowing what man will do on any given day at any given time, whether it be in terms of crime and criminality, or it has to do with something more positive. So what it boils down to is to, first of all, and this is not rocket science, you try to identify the source. Where is this coming from? What is the reason for this development and that development? Now, a lot of this takes time, a lot of surveillance time, a lot of strategic time, a whole lot of time. But the problem is, we want and we expect the problem to be solved right now, a problem that started a long time ago and has ballooned and exploded at times, etc. That is not going to come to an end in a day, in a week, in a year, in 5 years, etc. Also because of the rules are killing people. That makes it also makes it quite tough for those involved in law enforcement to tame that monster. But the discussion on this subject is endless. We're going to have to come back to it perhaps later on or tomorrow, but we have our scheduled segment coming up right now, Your Legal Corner. Thank you for the call.
Boss, tomorrow again. Tomorrow I'm
Sure.
coming back again.
Sure.
I'll inform tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Good.
Clearing personal, non-commercial shipments at the port? Avoid the wait. Request a contactless clearance through your agent today. It's more efficient. It's secure. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
3:31 on Power 106.
Join Dr. Herbert Gale Mondays and Tuesdays.
If you don't sit down and make an overall investment in your human resource and you keep just allowing your very best to go, you are going to end up weaker.
And tune in to Simon Crosskill from Wednesday to Friday.
The majority of people in Jamaica are good, decent, honest, hardworking people. What we are doing is we are allowing a minority to control the narrative.
Featuring The Bottom Line with Ralston Hyman, the best public banter on Jamaican radio.
Everything is connected. If you have more of your people employed and you're operating at full capacity, you're supposed to be getting more output, not less.
It's Power Talk, weekdays 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Identifying challenges and finding solutions in a globalized world. Make it a date. Join us. Welcome to Your Legal Corner on Power 106 FM, your source of information for all matters regarding U.S. immigration. Call in with your questions and concerns on 876-922-41125. You can send a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598. Time now for Your Legal Corner during both sides of the story, right here on Power 106 FM.
It is a Thursday afternoon, just after 3:30, and that means time for Your Legal Corner with U.S. Immigration Attorney Dahlia Walker Huntington. Good afternoon, Ms. Dahlia. How are you?
I'm good, Dervan. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. Thank you.
Yes, I'm just picking up on the end of that caller there, and I have to tell you, it's so disturbing to be in Jamaica and to feel the fear of people when with all of these multiple killings.
Yes.
And it's equally disturbing being overseas and reading the online news sources and seeing it. It's very, very disturbing. And at the same time, we see the JCF saying that the number of murders percentage-wise has gone down, but you don't feel it when you're on the ground.
Yes.
You don't feel it at all. It's nerve-wracking. It's scary.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's one of those things that it's not going to go away in any dramatic manner. It's something that it's entrenched. It's been with us. Go ahead.
It's going to take a mindset shift. Policing is not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It needs a change in how we interact with each other. I've been saying for years that we need to be teaching anger management in our schools. Look at what happened to those two children in schools for minor, basically brushing up against somebody, beaten to within an inch of their lives. And it starts there. It really starts there in changing the mindset of children so that we handle anger when we're upset with each other in a different fashion. We have to role play and show them how to deal with it.
Mm.
And yes, there are children going to school who have mental health issues as well. We have to be able to recognize those issues and give them the services that they need.
Yes.
I'm just telling you, it's a downer.
Mm-hmm.
We in the diaspora try to be as positive as possible about Jamaica. We're great ambassadors, but it's almost like, I don't know. You feel frustrated when you're trying to promote Jamaica in every which way, and then you have to be hiding what is going on in the country in terms of multiple murders, women being just massacred, nothing. And again, it comes back to you, as you say, it's not going to change overnight. Policing is not going to do it. We have to change the mindset of the people. If not, I don't know what's going to happen in 5-10 years.
Yes, and that is going to require, depending on how we approach it, some mass relearning. I don't know, re-socialization.
Yes,
because as it is now, so many of our people just seem to be going off the boil.
Yeah.
People, I mean, senior citizens stabbing senior citizens to death. That kind of brutality. You wouldn't expect that from senior citizens.
Yes, and in places that are supposedly quiet, remote, away, we have to try to curb what is happening now. But if we don't look into the root causes of these problems, that goes back to re-socialization, as you say, retraining, getting at-risk youth involved in things that reprogram their minds. And just it's a whole country approach. Policing alone is not going to stop. Otherwise, we're going to live in a police state.
Yes,
we're going to live in a police state if we don't get to the root causes of this. And all I'm saying is that it's nerve-wracking. It's unsettling. It's petrifying.
Yes.
It's really petrifying.
Yes, but having said that, what can we do? We still have to try and do something.
Yeah, we do, and this is why people try to help at all different levels. In making donations and giving supplies and trying to see to the needs of the people. But the needs are far greater than material things. Yes, you need a roof over your head and food to eat, but the needs are far greater than that. And we just have to start addressing those needs as well.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And this discussion could go on forever because it has been going on for a long time. Yeah. But let's get on with it. Thank you very much, Ms. Delia. So now we already have a couple of listeners who are online and they seem to have questions. So let's remind you, this is your legal corner during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. The numbers to call 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Any U.S. immigration question that you have, this is the place, this is the time, here's the opportunity. You can also send your text and WhatsApp messages to 876-279-8598. 876-279-8598. And let's see what we have here so far. This message says, I'm a U.S. citizen. I have a daughter in Jamaica. She is 12 years old. If I file for her now, would she automatically become a U.S. citizen?
Oh, that's a very good question. Assuming that this person became a citizen after the child was born, yes, they do have to file a petition for the child, bring the child to America. The child has to reside with the U.S. citizen parent, and by that, the child is going to come when she's 13 or 14. She has to be registered in school with the parent's address, have all the evidence that the child is in fact living with that U.S. citizen parent. And you do two things. One, you apply for a U.S. passport, and you also apply for a certificate of citizenship for that child, because that child can derive citizenship from the parent with whom they are living.
Got you. Thank you. And here is another one. This person says, pleasant good afternoon, Miss Delia. My brother has scheduled an appointment in the U.S. later this month. Hold on, let me back up a bit. Good afternoon, Ms. Daly. My brother was scheduled an appointment in the US later this month, but received an email advising him that the appointment was cancelled. No reason was given. Do you have any idea why that was done and if he will be given another date?
Well, I'm not sure what the appointment was for, but if you receive an email that an appointment was scheduled, please call the 800 number at the bottom of the appointment notice. Call to confirm that in fact the appointment is cancelled, because you don't want a hoax or somebody trying to be malicious sending you something that your appointment is cancelled and then you don't show up. And if you don't show up, they're going to consider your application abandoned. So definitely call USCIS to confirm that the appointment was in fact cancelled.
Okay. And just a quick reminder of the details, the contact details, listeners. This is Your Legal Corner with U.S. Immigration Attorney Dahlia Walker Huntington. It's an opportunity to have your questions answered as far as U.S. immigration is concerned. The numbers to call, 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. The text line for Your Legal Corner, it's the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-279-8598. That's a text and WhatsApp number, text line and WhatsApp number for Your Legal Corner, 876-279-8598. Let's go back to the mailbox and see what we have here. Another message. This one says, "Good day. Can I get a visa while pregnant?"
Well, as with anybody who asking if they can get a visa, it depends. Clearly, if the consular officer, being pregnant alone is not enough to prevent you from getting a visa, but the consular officer has to be convinced that you will return after your visit. And in the case where you're pregnant, they have to be convinced that you are not coming to the United States to give birth and cost taxpayers of the United States any additional expenses. So it's not illegal to give birth in the United States if you're a foreigner. But for immigration purposes, if you come to the United States and you give birth and you accept Medicaid for yourself to pay your hospital bills, that is a violation of the public charge system when it comes to immigration. Not a violation of the law, because the hospital will give you a social worker, you'll get Medicaid and so forth, because the hospital wants to be paid and the government will pay the hospital. But the fact of the matter is that when you are a non-immigrant and you come to the United States and accept public benefits, you violate the public charge provision of your visa. So if you can wait until after you've given birth, then that's fine. In any event, if you apply for a visa now, the appointment dates are well into 2024, like June of 2024.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Dahlia. Stay where you are. Let's take a break and come back with more on Your Legal Corner with U.S. Immigration Attorney Dahlia Walker Huntington.
For any project, ABC Electrical Sales has all your electrical supplies at the best prices. 8 Hagley Park Road, Kingston, 754-3714. The time by ABC Electrical Sales is
3:45. We are back. Tune in to Power 106 for Season 3 of Gen Z. Whether you need a dose of humor, advice, or inspiration, we have you covered. You'll get to hear from our amazing guests, join in on the chats, and learn with us along the way. That's Season 3 of Gen Z.
You're listening to Your Legal Corner your source of information on all matters regarding U.S. immigration. You can call in with your questions and concerns on 876-922-411-225. You can send a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598. Now, back to your legal corner during both sides of the story on Power 106 FM.
Indeed, let's remind you of the numbers to call your legal corner. Any matter having to do with U.S. immigration. This is the program. This is the time. Here are the numbers: 876-922-411-225. 876-922-411-225. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number for your legal corner: 876-279-8598. 876-279-8598. Here's another message. Good evening, Miss Dahlia. My visa petition was sent to the embassy by NVC from August 29th, but Kingston has not contacted me yet. What should I do now? Wait or call them?
Wait, they are still backed up. So August 29th would have been about 5 weeks ago. So before the pandemic, if something came in August, you'd be getting a date sometime in October. But because they're so backed up, we can't even anticipate when you will get a date for your interview. If, however, there is a reason to expedite the interview on behalf of the petitioner, not the person in Jamaica, well, want to travel and so I want to jump ahead of the line. You have to make a request to NVC if the petitioner has some special needs and that person needs the beneficiary in Jamaica to come quickly. Then you provide evidence of why your appointment should be expedited. And then if they approve it, they'll put you at the head of the line, ahead of everybody else who is waiting. But there are a lot of people who are waiting. So, and they have limited capacity and they're backed up. So the interviews are taking a little longer than they used to prior to the pandemic.
Thank you, Ms. Dahlia. Let's see. This one says, good afternoon. I was listening to the steps needed for a U.S. refiling for a child 12 years. Is it the same process for a green card holder filing for a child 12 years old living in Jamaica?
Well, we were giving steps. We were just talking about citizenship. So if you are a green card holder and you have a 12-year-old in Jamaica, you go ahead and you file. That child will be in the F2A preference category. And in that case, you have to wait for a visa to become available. Visas are available for persons with priority dates of February 8, 2019 and earlier. So it's taking a few years in that category, again, because they're backed up, but please go ahead and file the application and get the child in the queue for a visa to become available for them.
Thank you, Ms. Dahlia. Once again, you're listening to Your Legal Corner during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM with your host, Dahlia Walker Huntington. And the lines are open, taking your calls. Any matter having to do with U.S. immigration. This is the program. This is the time. And the numbers to call once again, 876-922-411-225. 876-922-411-225. If you prefer to send text messages or WhatsApp messages, here's the number to use: 876-279-8598. 876-279-8598. If you wish to send text or WhatsApp messages to Delia Walker Huntington on Your Legal Corner during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. That's the number 876 279 8598. And we continue. I have a couple of callers or listeners who had comments, but we'll pick up at the discussion a little later on in terms of crime. And that's Rudolph in Stony Hill also has something to say with respect to garbage collection. Still behind the market in Stony Hill, he says. We're going to come back to that in a little while, Rudolph. And in the meantime, though, let's get in those questions before time runs out. Any U.S. immigration question, now is a good time, right here during both sides of the story on Power 106 FM. Any U.S. immigration questions that you have, you can call us or text or WhatsApp. Let's remind you again of the numbers 876 922 411225. 876 922 411225. And the text line is the same as the WhatsApp number 876 279 8598. 876 279 8598. While we await your calls, Ms. Delia, perhaps you could give us an update on developments with respect to Congress and the Speaker.
Well, yeah, I mean, big things happened in Washington this week. Historical undertakings where the Speaker of the House was removed by motion. But, you know, the entire issue since we were last here was whether or not the U.S. government was going to shut down because there's no funding law in place to extend the government operating. And there was a lot of confusion last week because the speaker, the prior speaker, introduced border security into the mix. And that created problems on either side, sort of throwing a curveball against the administration after having sat down and discussed what the budget was going to look like and the appropriations bill, as it's called. And then, coming out of left field now, throwing border security in it. So there was an extension. The government has funding to operate for the next 45 days. But in the midst of all of that, the speaker got fired because a couple of people didn't like the fact that he worked with the Democrats, and they moved a motion to fire him. But the whole issue of border security is just, it's a mess, Dervan. It's really, really a mess because the border, people are coming across the border again in droves over the last week. It goes in spurts. And what happens in these countries are rumors start circulating that, oh, you must come now. The border is going to be closed by such and such a date. So come in now. So you have thousands of people risking their lives, walking for days to get across the border. And that has been happening over the last, I'd say, week and a half, 2 weeks. Also heard today, and I have not a lot of chance to focus on it, that the Biden administration is now going to make funding available for building the wall. That infamous wall that was started during the previous administration. So I'm really going to have to get into that and we can discuss it next week. But immigration at the border is really confusing, even from people like myself we don't practice border immigration on a daily basis. We have to defer to those persons who are on the ground, usually working for nonprofit organizations to help migrants as they come across, because those persons, they cannot afford 9 out of 10 of them cannot afford private legal representation, so they rely on organizations at the border to help them. And it's an ever-changing, very fluid situation at the border. Some days they're sending people back, other days they're releasing people against their own policies that says if you come from certain places and you don't get pre-approved to come in, we're not going to accept you, we're going to turn you back. Some days they accept them. And so it is just a very confusing situation. It's overwhelming for them because thousands of people are coming in on a daily basis.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Never a
it's
dull day.
crisis.
Yes.
It's a crisis. It's definitely a crisis.
All right. Well, we'll be watching.
Yes.
Let's get in a few more questions.
Sure.
This one says, how long does it take for a U.S. citizen to file for a sister?
Oh, that is the longest processing time in immigration for family petitions. Right now, visas are available for April of 2007. So we're talking quite a number of years there. You're looking at about 16 years. So the advice that I've always given, even when it was 10 years, is file it and forget it. If you have a sibling overseas and you think that sibling may want to migrate and they have some interest, go ahead and file. Particularly if the sibling has young children, you want to file sooner rather than later because of the long waiting period. Sometimes the children age out. They are no longer considered a child for immigration purposes. So please go ahead and file, but it's not anything that's going to be processed so quickly. Doesn't normally take 16, 17 years, but it's taking that long now because, again, the pandemic backlog persists.
Got you. Here's another one. Good afternoon. My U.S. husband is planning to return to Jamaica, but will be maintaining his U.S. citizenship. He filed for me earlier this year, and his application acknowledged. Will his absence from the U.S. have any impact on the process?
Yes, it will. The initial filing will get approved, but when you come to phase 2, which is what we call consular processing, where you're working with the National Visa Center, he has to produce an affidavit of support. And that affidavit of support requires the person to be domiciled in America, or upon receipt of the green card, the beneficiary and the petitioner will return to live in America. So it's something that this husband is going to have to be strategic about if in fact he wants his wife to become a permanent resident. So in other words, what the system is telling you is that if you're an American citizen, you can file for your spouse in Jamaica and anybody and remain in Jamaica with them. They want you to indicate that you intend to move to America.
Good. Let's see if we can squeeze in this last one here now, Miss Delia. Good afternoon. If your visa was cancelled for overstaying, it's going 14 years now. Can you reapply again?
Yes, you can reapply. You're no longer subject to the mandatory 10-year bar for overstaying. In theory, but in practicality, will you get a visa if, having received one before, you abuse the privileges? That is where the discretion of the consular officer is going to come in. If they gave you a visa before and you overstayed, will you do the same thing again? That's going to take some convincing of the consular officer, but nothing to stop the person from applying. Whether you're going to get it is a whole other ballgame.
All right. That's where we're going to have to leave it this week, Ms. Delia. Thank you so much. Go ahead and remind us how we can keep in touch with your law firm.
Sure. I'm based in Florida, and we practice immigration laws throughout the United States and family law in the state of Florida. And to reach me, it's 954-963-8555, 954-963-8555. We have a number in Jamaica that you can call if you're in Jamaica and you want to schedule a consultation. It's 876-969-9666. That's 969-9666 or 925-0949.
Thanks a
as
lot.
always, everyone.
Same here. Thank you. All the best.
Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's it for this week's edition of Your Legal Corner.
You've just listened to Your Legal Corner, your source of information for all matters regarding U.S. immigration. Join us next Thursday at 3:30 p.m. for Your Legal Corner during both sides of the story, right here on Power 106 FM. At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4:01 on Power 106. Put another way, que hora es en español? Son las 4:02. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:02. 现在几点了？4点02分. 2 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup yet? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. And let's share with you now details of an event that we have covered before in the past. It's still happening. And our guest today is Mr. Marlon Sims. He is Dean of the School of Dance and a member of the organizing committee of the Rex Nettleford Arts Conference. Mr. Sims is also artistic director of the National Dance Theatre Company of Jamaica, NDTC, which was co-founded by the late Professor Nettleford. And so let's say hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Marlon Sims. It's been a while. Good to have you on board. How are you?
I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much. I'm well, thank you. How are you doing?
I am doing well, thanks. Thank you very much. Great. So it's that time already again? Goodness, time flies.
Indeed. Yes, we're back again for the biennial conference, Rex Nettleford Arts Conference, at the Edna Manley College of the Visual Performing Arts. So we're very happy to be once again staging the conference in recognition of the work and legacy of such a great man and his sphere of influence and others who are inspired by his work, those who have original thought coming out of the Caribbean and also across the world. It's a major conference. We have quite a number of presentations that we're very excited about, as well as we have special performances as part of the conference. So yes, it's going to be a very exciting time at the college from October 11 to 13.
Well, listeners, make a note of the date, or the date, the 11th to the 14th, you said?
October 11th to 13th.
To 13th. Oops, I think I know why I said 13th, but anyway. I think some people know already. But anyway, the 11th to the 13th of October. That's the period of the Rex Nettleford Arts Conference. And it will be at the same location as usual?
Yes, it will be at the Edna Manley College of the Visual Performing Arts, and it is at 1 Arthurwin Drive, Kingston 5. A lot of persons say it's on your way to the National Stadium, which next to Bustamante Hospital. It's across the street from the theater, so you can't miss it.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Right. So what can you tell us with respect to the the plans for this year? What number is this staging now? Where are we now?
I think we're at the 7th staging, and we have quite a number of special events lined up, beginning with the pre-conference show, which is the 27th anniversary of the School of Dance concert called Level 27. It will be at the Burt Road Studio Theatre. The students and faculty work will be on the show. And this will be a very special showing. We're showing in March of this year, and we're once again showing for the conference. So we're very excited to show what the School of Dance has been doing. Of course, dance has been central to the work of Professor Netherford, close and dear to his heart. Theatre in general, but more specifically dance. And so we're going to be very happy to be showcasing the School of Dance as part of the conference. Also, on Wednesday, we were having the Jara Reggae Wednesday. That's at 8 p.m. on the grounds of the college. And then on Thursday, October 12th and 17th, will be the grand opening ceremony featuring our keynote speaker, keynote address by Professor Sir Hilary Beckles. And of course, we'll have a very special performance from the National Guard Theatre Company. Performing live with university singers, we're very excited about that. We also have a special performance from the School of Music. And so, as part of the entire presentation, we have to really celebrate ourselves and showcase our excellence. That's what Professor Netherford was all about. So we're really looking forward to that and to the very special address, keynote speaker, Professor Sir Hilary Beckles. We're very, very pleased to be having him.
Yes.
And apart from all the presentations which run concurrently throughout the days, we were closing on Friday, October 13th with the Ebusiaga lecture. And our presenters will be Dr. Kurt Henry and our dear Cheryl Ryman.
Sounds like you have a lot going on there. In terms of do you still put out a call for papers for presentation?
Yes, we've had a call for presentations, and we have over 30 presentations that will be done over the course of the 3 days, in addition to 3 performances. So we're just very excited about it. So these papers are coming from persons who are submitted from our local institutions, of course, persons from the region, of course, persons from North America. So we have a sort of everyone landing on this very special place, the Edmund Mandel College, to share their creativity, share their intellectual capacity, showcase their creative imagination, and just to celebrate us as a people. All this thinking coming out of our culture, our history, our heritage, all that the ideas that are part of academia, new discovery, new development. We're just so excited that everyone gets a space on our schedule to share, to network, to meet people, and just to build this camaraderie that exists within the arts and cultural environment and also within academia.
And how are you able to put on the conference in terms of finding the resources? What kind of support have you had in that regard?
Oh, we're so very grateful for the very special support we've had thus far. We must thank our sponsors for being a part of the planning of the conference, really keeping us, their shoulders to stand on. Tourism Enhancement Fund, the Cultural Health, Arts, Sports and Education Fund, that's SHAPE, True Shape, the Bank, M1 Productions, Mountain Peak, Jamaica Reggae Industry Association, JARIA, and ICO. We couldn't have done it without them. We thank them so much.
Very well. What about let's see now the students? I'm trying to remember. You are students, and I'm not thinking necessarily in terms of the Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts, but in terms of, let's say, our high schools, for example. Is there usually some kind of an invitation? Or
well,
yes, go ahead, please.
I'm so happy you asked, because persons may want to think, how do I get involved? How do I attend? How do I see all of that's happening at the college between October 11 to 13? Yes. You can contact the marketing department at marketing@enc.edu.jm for more information. And you can also visit the website of the conference. We're also online. And so when you click on the link online, you can get all the information in terms of the cost of the packages that we have for the conference, and also how you can actually, look at the schedule to see what's on for each day, to know which of the sessions you want to attend. So all the information is really online. So we look forward to receiving the reservation. Again, the email address is marketing@emc.edu.jm, and they can do a Google search for the Rex Network Arts Conference 2023 online. And guess what? It will pop up at the top of your feed. You will see it. And you can click on the link and get all the information on the conference. You know what? We're less than a week away, but it's not too late to actually just go online, get the information, contact us directly, email our marketing department, and just join in this wonderful experience that we're about to embark on.
And a week away. What's the mood? What's the feeling? What's the energy? What are you picking up?
Well, everyone is excited. I can tell you, we're in the throes of preparation for the conference. And it's really a unified effort amongst the college from the top down. Our auxiliary staff are preparing the spaces, our technical teams are providing the necessary support, the administrative team is behind it. Our students are also a part of the conference because they may work with the lecturers who will be doing presentations, but more importantly, the class are collapsed and the conference becomes a part of the college teaching and learning experience. So they get to go to different sessions and listen to the presenters, participate, immerse themselves in this biennial experience. And we have had some internal excitement as well because we have some giveaways happening, some quizzes, and people have been engaged with the conference and what's really happening in the preparation process. Of course, meetings are ongoing. So we're buzzed with activity right now to ensure that when we open on October 11, we are ready. And it's part of the spirit of who Professor Netford was. He was all about excellence and really working on the ground to get everything ready. You know, he strongly believed that we are a people of excellence. And we have to believe in our hearts that we are. And that conference, I believe, that is being planned by the Edinburgh College really works as that philosophical idea that we are a people of excellence. So we're putting our heart, our soul, and all the other organs you can think of into this conference.
Yes. And finally, or just as we get ready to wrap, I want to give you an opportunity to say what will become of the material shared or presented at this Rex Nettleford Arts Conference.
Of course, we believe that the materials will be archived. We have a wonderful librarian at the college who is A1 in terms of documenting the information. We have our audiovisual department to ensure that important moments are captured and archived, because one important aspect about our history and our presentation, all this intellectual thought, is that we must retain it for posterity. All the generations must have access to it. And of course, even though the presenters may have the final intellectual property rights to the document, they have been kind enough to share the information with others who may be interested, so that if you do miss a part of the conference, you can make contact with those individuals to be a part of another kind of sharing with them, so that you don't miss out on anything at all. So we're very happy that the presenters are very generous in sharing within the specific time frame that they've been given, but also too, they're willing to share outside of that, because that is what the conference is about. It's about opening up and sharing thoughts and ideas and inspiring new ideas so that others may feel empowered to go out and become transformation leaders in their own right.
Absolutely. Well, look, we are encouraged by the tremendous support. So far so good from all indications, from the sponsors, the partners. That's always good, because it's a good barometer sometimes as well, just to get a sense of the interest that is had in the field of the arts. Because some people just think about song and dance and don't recognize that there's more to it. But I don't want to start that chapter right now, except to say, just give us that one or two lines right now as we wrap with respect to the dates. It's the 11th to the 13th of October, correct?
Yes, at the Edinburgh College of the Visual Performing Arts, right here in Kingston, and 1 Authorent Drive, and it's close to the stadium, across from the theater, down from Bustamante Children's Hospital. And the theme for this year, I didn't mention this earlier, is Mirror Mirror, and that is drawn from Professor Nettleford's seminal works, one of his books. And the sub-theme is Arts and Culture for Social Transformation. That's what we do as artists. And so the conference is really about transforming our society through this new thinking and wave of ideas coming from young, brilliant minds as well as established ones. So it's going to be one of those events that cannot be missed. And I'm urging everyone to come. Don't be late. Go online now. Search for the Rex Network Arts Conference 2023. Click on the link. Email the marketing department so they can get more information. The marketing department email address is marketing@emc.edu.jm, October 11 to 13, all roads leading to the Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts for the Rex Network Arts Lecture, Arts Conference, 2023.
Thank you so much, Marlon Sims, Dean of the School of Dance and a member of the organizing committee of the Rex Nettleford Arts Conference and also artistic director of the National Dance Theatre Company, NDTC. More in a moment.
Heart's desire, so that you might see.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
6:16. Oh, let's do that again. I'm looking at Army time, 16:16. That's 4:16 in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica.
Your favorite nighttime talk show, Dear Pastor, is now at a new time, 9 to 11 p.m. Monday to Thursday. Join Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas as he answers your questions and entertains conversations on a range of issues. Spice up your evening with Dear Pastor here on Power 106 FM, Monday to Thursday from 9 to 11 p.m. It's nighttime talk radio at its best at an earlier time. That's Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas, now at a new time, 9 to 11 p.m., right here on Power 106 FM.
When we stand together, it's our finest hour. We can do
Hello.
It's time. Oh, don't you think it's time? And build a bridge between your heart and mine.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Que hora es en español? Son las 4:20. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:20. Scienței, TDN-le. Si Dien Ar Shur Fen. 4:20 in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all the schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable, education makes you trainable, training makes you employable, and the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Here are some messages. Herbert Bogle says, Mr. Malcolm, good afternoon. Why is that caller from Florida always doing this? And Herbert Bogle goes on to say he's taking up too much time for nothing. And there's a call coming through on our text line, same as the WhatsApp number. Let's see if this person wants to be on air. Hello, good afternoon. Do you want to be on air? Okay, hold a moment, please. All right. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Go ahead now, please.
Good afternoon, Dervan.
Good afternoon.
Been a while, I'm not talk to you.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yeah, I thought you were away.
I was away and I'm not calling you, but not away in Leaving Island.
Okay.
You know, yesterday I wanted to call you.
What happened?
And Leslie, nickname the body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But also early on another station yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make some. And in hanging up, you see, from the station,
Mm-hmm.
you know what the moderator told him?
No.
The moderator said, hold on to your ignorance.
Oh,
Because
no.
he was doing the, you know, that Doobie Brothers song, When a Fool Believes, the wise man have the power to reason away.
I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, he was being imaginative and was imposing his imagination on a situation that wasn't.
Okay.
He was talking about the poor.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the line. I was looking at the polls this morning, right?
Yes.
And from the look at the polls, right?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like we both parties look like we have to go one poison.
Oh, that's your perspective. Interesting how you put it. Yes.
Yeah, because everywhere people say, neither no better. So the kids are picking the one poison.
And we've been hearing that for a long time, actually.
I know, but I know that's a lie.
Yeah, well,
That's
this is
a lie.
it. It's in the final analysis, it really boils down to what an individual does on that day, and if that action that is taken is that of going behind a screen and placing your X, because that's the thing. Your vote is supposed to be private anyway, although some people don't mind telling the world how they voted. But yeah.
Because, all right, in the case of the opposition now, you see,
Uh-huh.
I think when he addressed the conference, he should have been more profound in his defense. Right?
Sorry, more profound in his
difference in delivering.
or you mean demonstrating how different he is? Yes. Okay. Okay.
A contrast, so to speak.
Yes.
Yeah, because especially on the renewals, he made the Minister of Finance meeting him to the punch now, because he has announced some incentive, and the active word is announced.
Mm-hmm.
Because this government is high on announcing. Because, you know, when I listen to them, when I really listen to them, I'm a do.
Mm-hmm.
You see, all them good intentions, it's a strapped in expression, you know.
So that it's what in expression?
I said their good intention is a strapped in expression.
I'm still not hearing the word before expression.
I said their good intention
Uh-huh.
is a strapped in expression.
Tracking?
Trapped.
Oh, trapped. Trapped. Oh, I see what you mean. Trapped. Oh boy, you're waxing lyrical this afternoon. Goodness.
You know something?
Yeah.
I'm freedom with this, you know.
Frida, go ahead.
Because the nerves of the eyes are the strongest there, man.
Then
we tend to believe what we see. We can do what we hear, you know.
True.
But one never do what they see, no matter how strange it is. You need not be able to convince me that you saw that. But if you saw that, that's good enough. Because all of we sometimes have a witness for a phenomenon.
Yes. True.
Yeah. And I think Jamaica is contributing to this force in Haiti to bring about some calm as they are assuming.
Is that still happening?
Yesterday I heard the foreign minister on another station saying explicitly our involvement and will be contributing to the process.
Oh, okay.
But Dervan, they're not serious about Haiti.
Oh, what do you think? What, foot dragging?
It's more than that. You know, Haiti has been there in this eternal sin for freeing itself, you know, Dervan.
Yes.
And only people who have no sense of history will embrace this new advance. I give some perfect example. You know, Clinton, in the reign of Clinton.
Yes.
It started a real dismantling when they deposed Aristide. Let's be chronological in a way reading of Haiti. Because Haiti is not a vacuum with something. They deposed Aristide, and in conjunction with Roman Catholic Church, they defrocked him. The only reason was because he represented his people. Remember when they ousted him and TJ accommodated him?
I remember, yes.
When he was flying over St. Lucia, they declared him as a cargo. I listened to the interview exclusively on the BBC with his lawyer.
Okay.
And some people have it to say that that's the very reason why PJ resigned. Because he didn't want a confrontation with the US. Because they told him to. Let them say, oh, me away with the man I have him in your backyard. And you know, America see that as contempt. Well, under the same Clinton, 80, he himself, when you can Google what I'm saying, you know, Clinton said, although he made the rice farmers in Arkansas smile, he was sorry that he killed the rice industry in Haiti. Haiti had to import the rice from U.S. Arkansas with no tariff.
I wonder why they didn't take it from Guyana.
Because they didn't, you know, understand the argument. They made sure the U.S. had to sell them to its cheap, where they could even tax them for importation. Clinton did that on his administration. And then he installed one man named Cedris, where them deposed again and sent him to Panama. Right now, America is emptying the lithium in Haiti. And it's not 20 Newton. There's a man named David Cohen who works with a podcast named Redacted. If you listen to that, he's on the ground. I'm not listening to people with mounting CNN and NBC and all them people. That people we factual. And this type of journalist, a real journalist, because Dervan, real journalism borders on activism. You have to have a passion to deal with people, to embarrass the system. You can't be just reporting mostly what's said. Recently, after the hurricane, the earthquake in Haiti, when it was devastated, and the UN came into help. Remember that, you know, the Korea, the disease from the water, what you call it?
The what?
That disease again, when the water is contaminated, I think it's called, I forget the word now. The disease that you get when the water is dirty with filth, all of those things in the water. What's in your cholera, right?
Cholera, yes. Hold a moment, please. One moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 4:30.
We are back. Tune into Power 106 for Season 3 of Gen Z. Whether you need a dose of humor, advice, or inspiration, we have you covered. You get to hear from our amazing guests, join in on the chats, and learn with us along the way. That's Season 3 of Gen Z.
Hi, good afternoon. Any luck with the 5 o'clock pickup?
When we stand together, it's our finest hour. We can do anything, 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 anything. Keep believing. Think it's time. Don't you think it's time? Yes, I do.
Y ahora es en español. Son las 5 menos 29. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5 heures moins 29. 现在几点了？5点加2 Sure. Time just changed from 4:31 to 4:32. Sure Fen. 28 minutes going up to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. And here's a... Hold on a second. Did we lose the connection? Hold on. Oh dear. Hello, sorry about that. Thanks for holding. I muted my microphone.
Don't worry. Yes. I was saying, when all of the findings came up that the troop from Nepal brought the Korea to Haiti, all of the findings from even NGOs and the United Nations denied it. They didn't even compensate it, not even a red cent.
Yeah, I remember it well. It was all over the place.
So in all reality now, all those some people that they get to, all them have a turn around now and create some harmony. In all reality, to the world of politics, tell me now.
Yeah, well, there certainly is a high lack of trust among other things to deal with.
Most of the leaders, especially United Nations, especially African leaders and people from the South, the lesser developed countries, they were condemning the United Nations as hypocrites in their speeches. And indeed it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can have 3 European countries and a continent like Africa not having a permanent seat.
Yeah.
You know, in the world that we're in, we're an inclusive world. Look at those things. I don't think we have to imagine and say what's good for us.
And act accordingly.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't you see? All right. It's not the war with Ukraine right now, right? Ukraine can't win this war, you know. Ukraine cannot win this war. Because what Russia is doing is what America did in the Middle East. Don't you see? America protecting Israel in the Middle East. The America destroyed every country with any power around Israel. You can't see in that way. All it is because of the Jewish state, we cannot say anything bad about them.
Yeah, well.
Because they got immunity. Israel. You cannot say anything about Israel. Right now, the Prime Minister is in the court. They're challenging his order. Because he's passing a law. He's reducing the judiciary.
Yeah.
And he's making it known that the Prime Minister cannot leave office for only two reasons. Like mental incapability and ill health.
Incapacity.
What about if he was corrupted? You see what? Only have two conditions, mental incapable and ill.
And incapacity.
What about the other condition that comes with leadership?
Yeah.
And that's why the world is in a sad state, because sometimes we used to use all of the examples on site. America as an example for this one, so and so. But we would not deliberate in our assessment, We were more romantic. We didn't want to see the ease of things. Because number one, we bias to that industry because due to the connection. Right? And sometimes we will get married or gifts from America, so we're sympathetic. But sometimes his kindness to you is as a result of increase to somebody else, and we don't want that.
Yeah, well, if as a people we're empowered enough, then we would know essentially how to deal with these matters. If not, then it's just another thing.
Well, remember, Kissinger saying, if you're a friend of America, it's fatal. And if you're an enemy, it's even worse. Kissinger said that.
Henry Kissinger.
Yes. But Dervan, you know where I want you. There's this book I want you to read. You hear me?
Which one?
It's a very good book now. I'm putting in Suicide Museum.
So that's fresh out of the press?
Yes, sir. I think the author is Alex Damore. But that's the book, Suicide Museum. It chronicles the event in Haiti.
Oh.
And we had similar events like that with the CIA when they were choosing government left, right, and center hemisphere. Because in one part of the book, the writer told you, because he was advisor to President Allende, the CIA paid the truck drivers more money to not deliver the goods than the government could pay them to deliver it. Thus creating a frustration.
Oh dear.
Yes. He said when they were coming from a region, there was like 100 truck parked. And the drivers were waving American dollars at them. It's written now. When they killed Allende was duly elected. And they said every Kissinger. But then, the political knowledge then, that was 1973, was really young then, and was really not political. At the time, it was really in ideology and whatever it is. Because at that time, you had so much separatist movement trying to topple the powers that be. All over Africa, all in Latin America, especially, because you had the Shining Path in Peru, you had the evangelist in Brazil, because then time the Brazil was run by the military. Argentina, across the whole region. When Venturan, America supported all those going. Remember they in Guatemala and the Arabs, America destroyed to overthrow Arabs when they didn't want the American company to take over the banana industry. One of the problems with us as a people, you see, we become personality cult. Because when we read, and we can pull from people in higher regard ourselves, we think them smart.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes,
in Jamaica, we've reached that stage. We're so polarized in our ignorance and bling that we got no penchant for details. And where does the devil is?
In the detail?
Well, again, you see, all one, both of them leaders come there, you see them good intentions, freed from expression with deeds. Have a good evening.
Thanks for the call. Take care. Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112 Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Professor Dervan.
Oh, you're too kind.
How are you?
Fine, thanks. Go ahead, please.
I couldn't help but hear you on the lady that was speaking about how you go through the embassy to get to the United States, was talking about the killing and the lawlessness in Jamaica. And I just think that we are not approaching this thing scientifically. Because I discussed what happened in the United States just a couple of days ago. There was this lady that they have his children, and she was riding up. This little girl was riding up bicycle, and she tell them that she was going to make a final circle, and she missing. And when the law people...
Sorry, by the way, just seeing a bit of a breaking news of a vehicle plunging into a ravine in St. James. A number of people appear to be injured after a vehicle plunged into a ravine on Long Hill in St. James.
Wow.
Yes.
That is where I drive to my home. That is the road I use up to my house.
Well, the news is that emergency crews are on the scene. The cause of the crash is not yet known.
Long Hill is left from Reading to Ancho Bay.
Oh.
In St. James. And that is the road I use to go to where I live in Bethel Town.
Mm-hmm.
That is the road. And that road takes a right back to Westmoreland, Savannah, going to Mount Pedia down. And it can take you back to Nigger Quarters in St. Elizabeth. And it's a high, if you ever know that road, it's one that ravine, but if it's some out in the ravine that one of those, a lot of people could die in that accident. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, man, it's one of the real serious piece of road in St. James, Lamia. Yeah, man, but as I was saying, when you look at all the Americans, it's kind of good. They know that is there, looking the money that you want to deliver. They find the fingerprint. And from the fingerprint, they were able to pick up who the person was. And in less than 2 days, they discovered and rescued the girl. Now, when you look at us out here, you see, we don't use as the Chief Justice said, that we're going to have to use more scientific approach. Mm-hmm. And that was why I support me. Because if you have me could have everybody at a hospital and nationality. And I feel that if you have me and you use a serious scientific approach, that is the way we can bring back crime to tolerable levels in Jamaica.
What is, I'm sorry, I'm not sure I heard the cure clearly enough.
I said NIP, for instance. If we have NIP, same with the American, whatever, everybody would have to have a national ID if you have NIP.
Oh.
And then, using a scientific approach, which I will not explain and here, no, you could use it to bring back violence in Jamaica, murder. People just you buy a new car and a man just take it there. And some of the things you could use it to solve some of the problems. Because car stealing is like a joke in Jamaica. I want to have those things, all of those things bring because a set of criminal wants a car, let's keep a car, and they have their
Sorry, hold a moment, please. One moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
Poor roads a major concern? What about those drains that are in need of repair or cleaning? Who's responsible for repairing my road and when will it be done? Join us this and every Tuesday morning at 8 during Morning Agenda as we travel on our roads with the National Works Agency and get answers to these and other concerns. You're welcome to visit their website at www.nwa.gov.jm. See the tender notices link for projects to be undertaken. You may also call them toll-free at 1-888-429-5NWA. That's 1-888. Or follow them on Twitter at NWA_JA and Facebook at www.facebook.com/NWA Jamaica. The National Works Agency, developing safe, reliable, and quality roads.
I'd gladly walk across the desert with no shoes upon my feet to share with you the last bite of bread I had to eat. I would swim out to save you in your sea of broken dreams. But all your hopes are sinking. Let me show you what love means. Love can build a bridge between your...
Que ahora es en espagnol, son las 5:13. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 5:13. 现在几点了？5点。Cha Shi San Fen. 13 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned in to both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? Thanks for holding. Go ahead, please.
And we cannot mobilize and ask them to help us with this crime problem in Jamaica.
Sorry, I lost a piece of the what you were saying.
Said, and why I raise it with you is because it is your area. We have too much bright people in the diaspora that if we look there help and they see that they are genuine, cannot help us with our crime problem in Jamaica. When you look at, say, the President of the United States is going to be tried for an incident in the United States, and the judge that is going to do it is a woman from Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when you look at the things being used now, when they're having the war, what they use, we don't even have helicopters to track criminals in Jamaica. We should have that. You know, you hear that.
We do have helicopters. Whether we use them for that or not, or the frequency with which we use them is another story.
That is what I'm saying. I know we have helicopters in Jamaica, but you don't use them up for that because in America, once the police and anybody trail, they use their helicopter to track them in the air.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these are simple things that you can do. It's not going to cost us a bad amount to get 5 helicopters for each area. You don't want it too often. People commit crime and they pick up you don't pick up the vehicle and track them because the only time people will stop this big sentence and hanging is not going to do the job, because if you don't catch me, you're going to hang me.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't catch me, you're going to put me in prison. That's the reality, you know. It's saying we have to stop chatting people, and until we develop the scientific approach that let people know you can commit crime, but you feel the cause.
Mm-hmm.
You won't be able. And some of the attitude in school and so on, you'll have to feel, how can you, a young child is going to see another one? That is like a friend have to take him up to carry him.
Yeah, it's what they see, hear, and experience in their communities.
That's what they learn. Children live what they learn.
That's right.
Children born innocent, they are corrupted by adults.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that is why sometimes I wonder about the people that are represented, and you can in parliament companies there. Who want people genuinely want to solve the problem of this country. The people will relate to each other. We can't even read it. We don't have the intelligence to read it. Just tire me. You cannot stupid me. Just tire me.
Yes.
I am pro God. This country, we have to look at from the diaspora. People who have no heart to grind. Because the politics and the criminality kill close. Some people want to be area leader, because when my area leader, in them, they have to come talk. You better wake up. You have to go there, my brother.
And you too.
We'll talk.
Yes, thanks. Thanks for the call.
Consistently talk. Good.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, and you can even call us on WhatsApp. That number is 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Rudolph in Stony Hill says, Mr. Malcolm, bless up yourself. The pileup of garbage is still behind the market in Stony Hill. From last week, it is there. No one cares to come collect it. It's all over in the road. There is good service the taxpayers getting. There is good service the taxpayers. Oh well, something is off there. There is no good service we get for our tax dollars. I figured that's really what you wanted to say. Sorry to hear about that situation, but we trust that those who are contracted to help us in managing waste in this country are in fact aware and acting. Let's continue. Let's go to some of the other messages that are popping up. Jacqueline Simmons, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for joining us. Earl Allen says, blessed good afternoon, Brother Dervan. Can you tell me which former Prime Minister of Jamaica was interdicted and charged for manslaughter and had to run away to Cuba for not going to prison? No, I'm sorry. I'm hearing about this for the first time. But nothing, as my late mother would say, you can't hide nothing again, you know. At some point it will come out. So we'll see. We'll see. But as it is now, as it stands now, I'd never heard about that before now. But thank you for your message. Cherry Henry, good afternoon to you as well. She says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and listeners. Rain now, cooling down the heat. And this one, I think Gray Shim was saying, some decision between buying gold or hiding money in the mattress or something like that. All right. Thank you for your perspective. We got your message. And let's go to 876, 365-3346. This is the text line, same as the WhatsApp number. And let's see how much time we're able to get out of what is left for the program. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Dervan, good afternoon. I'll have to call you back tomorrow. I have a thesis, right, that I done about 2 years ago. It is entitled A Silver Bullet for a Crime-Free Jamaica. It is about 20 to 25 minutes. So tomorrow, if you may oblige me, we'll both discuss it, please.
Sure, that's fine.
It is about how the superintendent and who is in charge of each station should angle themselves when it comes on to sending out their officers to community, and how the JPs should take control of each community that they live in. So tomorrow we'll just discuss it and we see where we can help this country here. Okay, Dervan.
Sure. Thank you very much for the call. We look forward to that.
Okay, sir.
Although, it's all right. I was about to say, although I'm remembering that I'm not going to be in tomorrow afternoon. No, I don't think I'll be in tomorrow. But we can always do it on Monday, all things being well, or some other time. But sorry about that. But if you want to have that discussion with Jesse tomorrow afternoon, that would be fine as well. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Thursday, the 5th of October, 2023. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on. Nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5, with Jesse Blake live from the studios of Power 106 FM. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible. Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's News at 5.